On the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes,
we're kind of waxing poetic and paying homage to English-style beers that are brewed here in the United States.
The beers we'll be tasting and discussing today are Newtonian Extra Special Bitter. That's from Gravity Brewing in what we think is Louisville, Colorado.
I say Louisville.
As opposed to Louisville, Kentucky. Rock Bar Brown Ale from Woods Boss Brewing Company in Longmont, Colorado. Magister English Dark Mild. Haven't had a good mild in a long time. Dutchess Ales in Wassaic, New York. Gilpin Black Gold London Porter from Hogshead Brewery in Denver, Colorado. And Chinwag, also an ESB from Hogshead out of Denver. And if time permits, we'll have a sixth bonus beer.
we'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Welcome, everyone. Here we are for another Sud segment where we believe that the only thing better than drinking beer is, well, I don't know that we found it yet.
Oh, it exists.
And we've begun.
How about hop infused waters and teas?
No.
That would never, nobody could do that.
Sure.
That's a non-starter.
Yeah, non-starter. I like that. Well, joining me at the table today is good old Boy Kendall.
Oh, I'm here and I'm thirsty.
Yes. The way
Thank you for having me.
to my heart, saying everyone's thirsty. Good old Boy Sparky, hi.
I haven't had a beer in a week.
You're giving Sparky like a nice welcome.
Usually I hear that sound when people are running away from me. So that's, I mean, thanks.
Well, we're here to help you get rejuvenated.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good old Boy Mike.
And we shall need a shrubbery for this experiment today. Yes, I am here. All of the people inside my head are here. Yes.
Oh, boy. Good old Boy Dave.
I'm quirky. My best friend's a whore.
Was that Jim Gaffigan? No.
Sound like him.
It did a little bit.
See, I'm debating already. Do we have to bleep that out? I mean, so it's, I can hear the ombudsman going, I'm about to call him. So,
They have to let some things through, Mike.
Yes.
It's true.
Wow. Well, I'm good old Gal Juliana, and today's episode is a chance for us to talk about our love swoon for British beer styles.
We need the shrubbery.
We love drinking beer from across the pond, but it can be hard to get it fresh. And we all know. So when we were able to score some of a few British styled beer, God, let me rephrase this. So when we were able to score some British styled beer brewed in America, we just had to try them. Good old Boy.
Yeah, who writes this
Who
stuff?
wrote this
Who
crap?
wrote this script?
You know what?
Are you using the AI script generator again?
I'm using I drank before I
All
wrote.
right, fair enough. Smashing
Drink type.
that fist across the keyboard. Is that why it's in all caps? Because all caps is cruise control for cool.
Absolutely.
I thought it was all caps meant I was shouting at you and writing.
No, that just means that you lost track of what you're doing on the
The
keyboard.
caps lock? Yeah.
Right, correct.
All right, good old boy Kendall, why don't you give us today's lineup?
All right. The beers we'll be tasting and discussing today are Newtonian Extra Special Bitter. That's from Gravity Brewing in what we think is Louisville, Colorado,
I say Louisville.
as opposed to Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
Rock Bar Brown Ale from Woods Boss Brewing Company in Longmont, Colorado. Magister English Dark Mild. Haven't had a good mild in a long time. Dutchess Ales in Wassaic, New York. Gilpin Black Gold London Porter from Hogshead Brewery in Denver, Colorado. And Chinwag, also an ESB from Hogshead out of Denver. And if time permits, we'll have a sixth bonus beer.
Bonus beer.
We need to make time.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you, Kendall. Good old boy Sparky. Let's
Yeah.
do
What's
this.
Okay.
Suds ratings, yeah?
Yep.
Or wait, no. Good old boy Mike is going to do the Suds ratings,
No.
right?
No.
Okay.
Eat your matzah. Let the grown-ups talk. So, Sparky, please give us the Suds ratings. If
Okay.
you would, please do your best impression of good old boy Mike doing a very bad British accent. Dave, that would be me, has a couple of examples to give you some inspiration. Now, rather than play you sound clips of Mike doing his horrible British accents, we actually have the man here himself. Now, Mike claims that he can do 3 distinct English accents. Proper London.
No. Don't give him the choices.
Oh, okay. You don't
yet.
even give him the choices yet.
No,
Okay.
no.
So he's going to roll them out.
Oh, boy.
And we're going to see if any of you can find where on the map, okay, that if you were to go to England and you went to a certain place and heard someone talk like this, other than an insane asylum, where would you be?
So we're going to get together with the little boys and we're going to go down to the club and we're going to be just having a bit of a pint here at the pub and we'll be singing away. And
Okay,
away
okay.
slow.
Okay.
That's all. Okay. Where would you be in England?
Liverpool.
Wow.
Ding, ding, ding. Hey, how about
He had
that?
a little.
What
beat
gave
up-
it away?
He had a little bit of that John Lennon
Yeah.
thing going on.
Okay.
Yes, you have to stretch out your O's too much every time you've been talking about Liverpool.
All right. So Mike was a scouser right there. All right.
Let's
Second
see, accent number 2. We'll be hanging out here in the southern part of this part of town, and so the boys and I were just going to be grabbing a bit of a pint, and so we're going to be watching a bit of the pitch, and we're going to be drifting over. Do you have the chips over there? Do you say that?
Okay.
I kind of feel like for a second it like veered into Scottish for a second. It's kind of all
I'm
over.
not that bad.
Come
today.
on. Well, I mean,
I heard it.
yeah.
I heard it too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Feeling it. But yeah. But I think you're implying South London, which is quite far away from Scotland.
Yes.
So
West London. So
Yeah.
yes,
All right,
close
cool.
enough.
Okay.
I'm
We'll call
gonna
it.
give you half a point for that.
So he was a Scotsman in West London.
yes.
wasn't that a Sting song? I'm
was-
pretty sure.
Quite drunk. All right. He has one more.
Oh God.
So, we're going to be at something down at the pool, and I'm going to show up my boys and get a thing of that, and then we're going to be twisting it up a bit, and so and there's a thing on the telly, and then we're going to be going off the other thing, saying that's the way it's going to go up.
I've got it. He was having a stroke. Yes? Is that no? Do you smell oranges? No. Okay. All right. No?
I think that's a great answer.
Kendall?
Which British accent do you
Nudge.
only hear every other word?
Right. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
You got that part right.
That's the way
spot
I would
on.
describe
Yeah.
that accent.
Yeah.
Yes. You only catch every other word because, they're just, it's
Play the
halfway
tape.
between muttering and speaking at the same time.
So
Juliana?
wait, I think so.
Okay.
Do another of that, but do the one you did in the other show.
Do the one I did
from the musical.
From the musical.
from the musical. Oh, so every sperm is sacred.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh,
not
My
that
Fair
one.
Lady?
Step in time.
Oh, step in time, cup in time. Everyone is step in time.
Did that help at all?
No, that's
We were
No.
going for was it Cockney?
yes. It was
Yeah,
Cockney.
okay.
Cockney is
Alright.
where every other word is you catch it, and the rest is just kind of muttering,
Guttural,
Yes,
muttering
correct,
kind
yeah.
of. Yeah, okay. All
You
right.
guys did pretty good. And so because they actually got it, I'm going to say that my accents did not suck. So, that's the line I'm going to draw between
You were
the two.
Or we're seeking
you were
medical
the
attention right
Only
now.
person who would say that.
Yeah, the beer is getting better as we are
All right.
drifting through this.
So Sparky,
Yeah.
please proceed with the Suds ratings.
Needs more shrubbery.
And if you found any inspiration in anything that just happened,
Oh, it's definitely inspired. Yeah. I'd say it was a good inspiration, but it's definitely inspiration. I'm going to do it. I think we were just talking earlier. Mike always goes for Terry Jones as a woman in Monty Python circa
Feel
late
free.
60s.
That would be good,
So
yeah.
that's just really, I have to do
it would be wonderful.
every time. Yeah. Oh, there's some lovely filth down here. All right. So we will be discussing and rating these beers with these Suds ratings, plus our signature belching sounds. Here are those ratings now. Oh, this sucks. Give me anything but a bud. Was that a belch?
2.
Oh, what a relief.
There's number 3.
A body really should not make that sound.
Oh, it's for someone.
Listen to that hang time. Give me another.
And it's 5.
so
I'm sorry, America and the rest of the
I
world.
really like that. I felt like he started sort of Monty Python and then kind of went to the Dark Crystal, and then
Dark Crystal.
And then came out in Australia.
somewhere.
No,
yeah.
and then I actually did have a stroke, so that was that's how that
like
ended.
this plan. So if you are going to step up and drink, great English beers, I think that you have to have at least a plausible fake accent. So you can go, I don't like this English mild. So,
Hopefully, the beers are more authentic than our accents.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. I think the beers are going to be a lot better than our accents for sure.
I've already started sipping on the first
Yeah,
one.
I knew that.
Maybe me
Yeah.
too.
Why don't we get rolling?
Yeah,
Yes,
let's get
yeah.
rolling.
So excited.
Newtonian.
Yes, Newtonian. It's an ESB, 5.7% ABV, and it's an award-winning British-style ale, brewed with Marris Otter and EKG hops from Gravity Brewing.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Welcome back, everyone. So today we are paying homage to the peeps across the pond from us and butchering
Yeah, it's bad.
a little bit of their language,
Just a little bit.
but
I'm sorry.
enjoying the beer styles.
It was shrubbery.
The first one that we started talking about right before the break was the Newtonian extra
It is not icky.
special bitter from Gravity Brewing in Louisville, Colorado. Okay, let's talk about ESBs.
So I used to work with when I was in the beer world, one of my suppliers was just obsessed with ESBs, and that was the first thing he started brewing, and it brews a great one. It's here in Nashville, and he was just obsessed with it. But I was always so heartbroken because I'd explained to him, yes, I know you like ESB, but nobody else. And good luck trying to sell the Hayes Boys and ESB. See how that works out for you. You know, that's not an adjunct stout kind of thing, but man, I love ESBs. I mean, they're just such a great beer for, especially if you want to make a great batter for chicken or fish. Oh my God. Love
Yeah, with fish and chips. Ooh,
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that it's here in America where they can actually call it an ESB, because I believe in England, if it's not Fuller's, you can't call it an ESB.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
But
yeah,
took it.
it's just a beautiful classic style that really inspired some of the first American pale ales too. You've got a nice maltiness to it, and the Marris Otter malt just gives it such wonderful bready type
Biscuity
flavor,
kinda,
biscuity
yeah.
flavor, and then you get those classic English hops, a little bit of floral, a little bit of spice, a little bit of honey. It's just a beautiful beer.
All rides along very smooth.
This is very crushable, I think is, the only thing I'm disappointed in is the size of my sample cup. Cause it's definitely one of those things that you wish you had a full pint of, and you're really just enjoying this very rich, full, well-balanced, beer. And, this is a great example of just great execution. This is one of those beers that you can screw up super easy.
Oh, sure.
And I would say the vast majority of the US-based versions of ESB, they go down that path where it actually becomes too bitter, and you're losing the sense of balance between it all.
Because we have
a lot
to
of head nodding
overdo
around that as
everything.
well.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So what do the Yanks know about brewing?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's been a lot of. And if you go back in our back catalog, you'll actually hear us review the Fuller's ESB and talk about a lot of the background, especially around that recipe itself that Fuller's came up with. But this is a really great, well balanced. I really love this. If you have the opportunity of picking up the Newtonian ESB, I would. It's super beer.
I would say the only thing that's a little bit different is it is a little bit boozy for an ESB, which typically
They're
I
usually
expect.
like 3, 8, or 4, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, that's because I would like to drink a lot of this.
I don't
and
notice it really.
not end up on the floor.
If it wasn't written on the piece of paper, I would set it 4. But super solid opening, I think.
Yeah.
Great beer.
Okay. We are going to rate the Newtonian from Gravity Brewing a 4.
We'll finish that.
Well, the
And
good
that
thing about
doesn't
these little sample cups is they make your hands look huge. So
You do.
Wow. Okay. Next up is the Rock Bar Brown Ale. It's an English brown, super smooth and light, but full of flavor. And this one is from Woods Boss Brewing in Longmont, Colorado.
What did you think about it, Juliana?
Well, okay, let's discuss for a second the difference, like as a brown ale, an English brown ale versus an ESB.
I'm letting all my homies know that I'm down for the brand.
Besides being darker in color.
Yeah, not as bitter. I think the way I describe English brown to everybody, it's like a Tootsie Roll that's been diluted. So you get some of the same elements of that same caramel and a touch of it, that's been caramelized, but you're not getting any of the bittering components that you did.
Yeah, that's a great. The Tootsie Roll reference is huge. It's like when I first smelled it, it's like it's not like a rich, deep chocolate. It's like that sweet caramelly Tootsie Roll chocolate.
Yeah, it's like you're going down towards the path of porters and stouts, but you're way away. You're going down that road, but you're not there yet.
Yeah, I call it actually. If you were to cut the sugars in half of an English porter, you would have an English brown. That's the simple way that I kind of describe it to a lot of other people.
One time after a really big meal, I had an English brown. One time in London, it's true. Happened to me.
So what's brown and sicky?
I think this particular one here from Rock Bar is just a tad bit watery, for me. It's just a little too thin in terms of the mouthfeel itself. And I don't know, it's just, if somebody had said this was an English brown light, I would say, sure, yeah, but it's, I don't know, that watery component's kind of tossing me off a bit for this.
Yeah, it almost bumps up against being a mild more than a brown.
Yeah.
Well,
It's flavorful.
This is a 5% ABV, just for keeping up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I feel like it's it's got a decent amount of flavor, but it is a little
thin.
Yeah. But the Tootsie Roll is really prominent and really nice. Yeah. And to me, it's a lot softer than the ESB that we had previous.
Definitely.
Yeah. But still very crushable. Very crushable.
Yeah, this is one of those, what is the Newcastle? Brown is kind of one of the reference beers, that I think of, and this is, if you had dumped a, fourth of water on top of a Newcastle, boom, you'd be right where this is.
Did you ever try that? Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say Newcastle always tasted like flat Coke to me.
Yep.
This is very cola.
This is flatter. Yeah.
Definitely cola flavor there.
I don't know, though. I think there's more to this than in a Newcastle, but I haven't had a Newcastle in a long time.
I haven't. And then I know Lagunitas started brewing it here, which is insane, but
that's weird.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit, which just kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Talk about which one of these things doesn't belong in the
right
lineup. Okay, boys, put down the bongs. We're going to be making an English brown today.
What?
Yeah. What?
This Newcastle tastes skunky.
Down like a clown, Charlie. Down like a clown, Charlie. Down like a cloud, Charlie. Down like a cloud, Charlie.
Thank you for that sound clip.
I was
that was
trying to
work.
Yes.
Work it.
Girl.
Well, the Rock Bar Brown from Woods Boss, we are going to rate a 3. Now, let's go even darker a little bit to Magister English Dark Mild. Magister is Dutchess Ales' contribution to the most sessionable pub ales of them all, the classic English Dark Mild, with lots of Marris Otter and East Kent Goldings and Fuggles hops. This is only 3.6% ABV.
Man, I'm getting something I can't quite place in this.
I think it's the cocoa nibs.
Oh.
That's the thing that sticks out to me, that it's like, which one of these things doesn't belong in here?
Maybe it's like a dried fruit or something. I can't really.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of fruitiness.
Yes, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
Could have just even been some of the yeast they use.
Mm-hmm.
They're using roasted barley and oat malts that gives you that roasted chestnut toffee, cocoa nibby kind of thing going on.
But I like it. It's really light drinking. Even though the color's darker than the brown we just had, it's super light drinking, but it's not thin in a bad way.
No. I think the oats adds a little bit of the body.
Yeah,
there's definitely some.
It's got an interesting feel to it,
for sure.
Like a raisin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's it.
Toffee, raisiny. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not going like the full blown, figs and
right.
Having that. A lot of the sugars. It actually, the thing I was like, wow, this has some elements like an Amarone, wine about it, which is made from dried grapes.
Yeah.
And it was kind of reminding me a bit of this. I don't know. This is very uncharacteristic, I think, for it to have that kind of fruit thing going on in the middle of it. The roasted malt and the cocoa nibs should have really been kind of the thing that would be charging the palate here, I would think, and it's just not there. It's like a good idea, when I'm reading the description of the beer, but I'm not connecting the idea with what's in the glass itself. There's just something missing. It's just a dwarfed version of the plan.
Still, it finishes pretty dry. But yeah, I don't, I think the fruit thing is really just throwing me off.
A little fruitiness, a little woodiness too from those Fuggles. It's an interesting flavor combination.
Yeah, probably not my favorite. I don't know. This is one of those things that I would say, if you hit what you're aiming for, great. But if you're asking us if it needs something different, it needs something different. I don't even come close to saying I know exactly what's wrong. I would say kick up the roasted malt or the cocoa nibs in this. If I had to, it needs a bit more punch.
I don't know. I mean, I think what you're getting is the Fuggles, though.
Yeah.
Like you're getting fruit and wood, and that's what you're going to get. And maybe it might be the roasted things. Maybe they're not blending together all that well, but I think it works pretty well.
I'm a fan of this myself, and I think it would be even more amazing on cask. If we were to get it, like I think this beer,
that would be cool.
I think this
everything.
beer
That could
is
change
made
everything
to be on cask. You know what I mean?
So you're saying the carb itself is kind of
Detracting,
screwing up the,
interesting.
the experience
Okay.
itself.
At least that's my opinion.
I could see that.
because of all the oats. I'm expecting.
Is there such a thing as a bad cask beer? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You go to a place with enough of them, you'll find
True.
a bad one.
yeah.
But I do think, if this was on cask, I think that would accentuate the body even more. And
I agree that,
That velvety
the sugars
smooth.
feel like they've been knocked down, out of this as a result of it being carved up. And that's the thing when I taste the difference between cask, that seems to be the thing that is the sugars usually come a lot more forward and pronounced in a beer that's just cask.
Yeah. But I think they got the right idea. And I like how much flavor is in this for a 3.6% ABV beer. You know what I mean? It just makes me want to go out and
Definitely
Go.
crushable.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's and like you said, it's a lot of flavor for something that low of ABV.
Yeah. It makes me want to go up to Hudson Valley to drink some of this,
there you go.
Anyways, so we are going to rate the Magister a 3.
Against Mike's wishes.
Yep.
Is it time for our topic
Yeah.
worthy of discussion? Do you
I
want me
guess
to
it
do
is.
it in a fake British accent?
Oh, but
I
of
don't
course.
think you can.
Oh, I can.
Oh
This
God,
one's-
what have I done?
Oh, yes.
It'll make it sound classy.
From Quilsing, Washington, this is a story of a woman that just went a bit too deep into it all. A woman who accidentally dropped her cell phone into the hole of an outhouse in the National Forest and fell while she was trying to retrieve it. Had to be rescued by the firefighters in Washington State. The Brennan Fire Department Chief, Tim Manley, he sounds very handsome, said the woman, who was at the top of Mount Walker in the Olympic National Forest, northwest of Seattle, had reported using her phone when it fell into the loo on Tuesday. Manley said she disassembled this toilet seat. I guess she had toolboxing with her and used dog lashes to try and get the phone, and eventually used the lashes to tie herself off as she reached for the phone. That effort, however, failed, and she fell into the toilet head first. Oh, there needs to be video of this event. That didn't work very well, and she went in, says the fire chief. The woman was alone, tried to get out for 10 or 15 minutes, reunited with her phone, and called 911. 911, what state the nature of your emergency? Oh, I've fallen into a hole and I can't get up. Responding firefighters passed her blocks to reach on a harness, which she used to pull her out of the vault. And then she actually was uninjured. She washed down and was strongly encouraged to seek medical attention after she had been exposed to human waste. But she only wanted to leave. I've been doing this for 40 years, and this was my first, states the fire chief.
So as you're talking about her rappelling into a toilet with a harness made out of dog leashes, I'm thinking Mission Impossible with poop. Yeah, it's kind of like
Well, so
that went horribly wrong.
is this a story that you talk about at family dinner, or do you wait, and discuss it at a later point in time?
We will never speak of this again.
I cannot
Mike.
believe that she gave up her name, or I guess that the storyline even made the news. It's why would you want to tell people?
Delete
about
Oh,
this?
dude, every one of those firefighters was
Firefighters always have the best stories.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point.
But between Barger as a tow truck driver and the firefighters we've had on the show, these guys have absolutely the best stories, for sure.
It's just an old crapper tank, people.
God. But all in all, that's a pretty crappy story.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry. So sorry. So sorry.
Not sorry.
No. But I mean, I would have to burn myself alive. That's the only way you come out of that situation.
Have you ever dropped your cell phone in the toilet?
No.
I've been terrified of it.
Dave's not.
He's not wiping up. No,
I didn't see him saying anything.
So I was going to say,
did a 1,000-yard stare.
A coworker of mine a few weeks ago, her nephew hid her phone in a toilet.
Oh no!
That is grounds
they looked for it for 4 hours before they found it.
That's messed up, man.
That's so hardcore.
That's so wrong.
No birthday, no Christmas until you're like 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just change your name now.
911, state the nature of your emergency.
Child aside.
But here's the thing, like toilet, okay, that's one thing. Those flush and they get cleaned out.
This is an outhouse.
This is an outhouse. This is a hole in the
Probably
ground.
with no bucket of lye.
Oh God.
Who knows how many butts have contributed?
Oh man.
And it's on top of a mountain, so everybody's eating granola and
It's a bunch of hippie. I mean, hippies smell bad to begin with. This is going to be the worst experience of your life.
No, I've had hop water today. That was the worst experience.
I remember one time back in college, we went to go visit one of Abby's friends who lived in a commune in Nashville. And somebody had built a yurt or a mud hut in somebody's backyard and was like pirating electricity from an extension cord. And he had what was called a composting toilet, which was basically just a poop bucket.
Yeah.
So ever since then, and the smells of the people in that house, I just looked at Abby and I said, well, we'll never speak of what we've smelled and seen today.
This lady actually smelled worse than that.
Oh,
I'm betting that would probably be the case.
and how did she get home?
Well,
She
that's
just wanted to
I was
leave.
just thinking about that. You can't get into a vehicle.
No.
Well, it did say they washed her off, so I guess maybe they hit her with a fire hose.
I would need to soak in bleach for
Would you use
wouldn't
this
wear your
as,
clothes.
a small talk conversation though? It's like, so what have you been doing lately? So I got a story for you.
Yeah.
Would you use it?
No, not
We're
at all.
around the
Never
water
tell
cooler
anyone.
on Monday.
Kendall's like, nobody would ever know that.
Can you imagine the double secret probation Uber would put you on? You'd be flagged for
Honestly,
this.
though, I would just.
You're saying the mask would not be enough?
Wow.
Just one
We'll
new cell
return
phone.
in
Just
just
buy
a
a new
minute
phone.
with
Let
more.
it go.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's been a very enlightening episode.
911. What's the nature of emergency?
This show is filthy.
What we are doing, though, today, folks, if you're just tuning in, is we're kind of waxing poetic and paying homage to English-style beers that are brewed here in the United States. And now...
I'm going to go really deep on this next beer.
Take it to the hole, Mike.
It's almost within reach.
Take it to the hole. Oh, my God.
So we are going to now go to Denver, and I'm going to wax poetic here for a minute. I am a big fan of Hogshead Brewery, and being able to have these kind of fresh here in Tennessee, I was so jazzed about, And for those of you that may or may not know, Hogshead is the owner is from London. So he wanted to bring English style beers to the Denver area. And I'm so happy and thankful that he decided to do that, because
I'd be grateful that Jerk would have moved to Nashville instead of Denver.
well, maybe after this we can convince him.
Wow.
But if you go there to that tap room, there is at least 4 or 5 on cask. He always has stuff on
There's
cask.
a giant Hogshead on the wall, too. It's true.
Well,
I've seen it.
the first one that we are going to talk about is the Gilpin Black Gold London Porter.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
It is so good. It's dark and beautiful. It's a London Porter that is, to me, all the best of what a London Porter would be. It finishes moderately dry with a medium to medium high roast. And I can imagine this on cask.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
They actually have some of their tasting notes here in front of us, and I'm just going to be rude and actually steal some of these. Yeah, the dark fruits. I mean, this is plum pudding, and figs. I don't think this is a fabulous porter. Holy crap.
Yeah, and it's really good. And you know what? Nothing against the other beers that we've tried today, but this is just on such a whole new level. Yeah, this is
plateau. If there's something that's going to beat this in this flight, I'm just going to be blown away because this is a really, really good London porter.
Yeah, that fruit is really balancing out the roast, that little bit of chocolate powder, coffee thing going on. Wow. It just all combines really,
we have more of this,
really well.
Yeah. And it's amazing because I feel like
so the EP just
Kendall's like, I'm going for it. Forget you guys.
Dang. So I feel like with American styles, right, we always go overboard on every flavor and adjunct, and it's just so delightful tasting a well-crafted beer like this where it's all these like naturally occurring flavors, and it's so well balanced. And they've really done a great job with this beer.
Yeah, it's like going to your favorite restaurant that you go like maybe once a year for an anniversary. Like you always you anticipate and get excited about what you're going to have for dinner because it's all these explosive flavors. This is that in a beer. It's so.
I want to have this on cask.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like to shotgun this crowler.
So delicious.
Wow. And we, there are a lot of really great, porters that we've had here on the show. So the way in which I'm going to go back to, I always come back to a candy, many times in describing, a lot of flavor components. But so a really good American porter is what I call a Tootsie Roll, a chocolate Tootsie Roll that the whole thing, you're getting all the roast elements, around that and the same sugars. English porters have a lot are more dry. And the star of the show for an English porter is absolutely the roasted malt that's in this as well. And this is totally it. That's what I love so much about this. It's just such a great balance. And the thing, if I had to pick the thing that people tend to screw up with a English porter is it's too sweet. Mm-hmm. And this one is not. Oh my gosh, this is very so spot on.
It's just dry, a little bit in the middle, and then it fades into a really nice dry finish.
Dry,
Such great balance.
I think people are afraid of roasted malt sometimes. Like maybe they don't want to overuse it because if you overuse it, then the beer just becomes astringent. And
this is a beer that it feels like they're on like batch number 80 of this or something. They've made it so many times.
They got it down
and really dialed in this recipe. So, man, I wish I had this in a beer competition of any kind because it would probably rock my the top of my score sheet for sure.
Yeah, this is a testament to the fact that not every beer is gonna have like a lot of hops. You don't need to have
no.
You know what I mean? This is like just gorgeous with
the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
What would you pair it with, Sparky?
Oh man, I would love to have this with a roast.
I was thinking of something creamy.
Oh, creamy? Yeah, like I think it would be great for dessert, but I was just thinking like a perfect roast chicken in this would be just like,
yeah, that's where I was gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Sunday roast.
Yeah. Some kind of a nice roasted meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with English pudding. Yep. Yum, yum, yum. Well, we are going to rate this, the Gilpin Black Gold London Porter, a 5.
Very well deserved.
It pairs well with matzah, I can tell you that. So
this is the best. I'm a terrible Jew. It's 4 hours until Passover is officially over, and I'm drinking beer.
This is not going to air until like 2 months from now.
Thank God.
You're good.
So if my rabbi hears this.
Yeah.
It's going to be way after the fact.
You had your sphincter shut there.
All right, let's go to something a little different. This one's 5.8%.
I don't leave this just yet.
Okay, well, you can. There's more. But let's talk about the Chinwag from Hogshead.
Yes.
This one is 5.8% ABV, and this is their extra special bitter.
Golly, man.
As they say, caution, one too many may cause you to talk shite. It combines a chewy malt-forward mouthfeel with a moderate hopping rate delivered by Challenger, Golding, and Fuggles. And only 38 IBUs.
Go ahead, Kendall.
I was just going to say, sometimes it's not fair to compare the beers that we've had, but this is a fantastic ESB.
It is
with a step
really
above
good.
the one we started with.
Agreed.
Big time.
Yeah. I mean, the first one was really good.
It was
a
really good, but
ESB.
I mean, like the Golding and Fuggles just shine through on this. Oh my God.
It's really
this is
balanced.
It's
super
like
well.
somebody, crank the dial up on the taste profile, for this is really kind of where this is. It's not so much different or a different balance as it is. It's just more pronounced.
Is this the same brewery?
Yeah.
Hogshead.
Oh man, these guys are doing
Oh,
some
it's
good
Hogshead,
work.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
bless them.
The malt on here, like the biscuitness is so right there, and it's lingering throughout. And whereas with the first one, you didn't it was sort of like waving through,
Yeah.
but this one is just consistent. And it's such like a good biscuity beer is so
Biscuity,
nice.
but with a bitterness too.
Yeah.
That 38 IBUs is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're
this-
getting up into pale ale range at that point.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I would love just traditional fish and chips with this. This would just
Oh,
cut
yeah.
through
Oh,
the
yeah.
fat so well
day.
if you
Yeah.
had some malt vinegar to go
I
with
agree.
it. Oh my God.
And this on cask too.
It's already super creamy. I can't even imagine
Right?
on cask. It would be
I
perfect.
mean, yeah. They would take it a whole
Things would go
new level.
bad fast.
Super well executed, beer making here. I mean, you can tell even, between these two beers, it's like, okay, yeah, you have totally dialed in these recipes and everything you've been sourcing to make these. Yeah, you really have, you found the magic.
So many layers of this beer. I mean, and I'm glad that it's last because it had a chance to kind of warm up a little bit.
Yeah, good point.
And really kind of open it up. And there's that bitterness, there's the biscuitiness, but there's this honey sweetness that's there for just a second, you know?
But just enough.
It's just right
Yeah.
there. And then you go right into the bitter finish.
How is this brewery fitting into the Denver beer scene?
Yeah, I want to know that.
That is because it's just so many different, and things going on in that market, and
I wonder if that's why it's doing so well, because Denver's so big, and
That's an
Denver's
interesting point. Yeah.
Denver's a big beer, right? I
Yep.
mean, everyone's drinking beer, and this is it's on the corner. It's in an old converted, I want to say a garage, maybe it used to be, or something like that. It's very dog friendly. It's in a neighborhood, so
that's important to me in a brewery.
Well-
Dog
That's
friendly.
dog friendly.
yeah. But
If you were in Denver,
Are you
it
dog
would
friendly?
be.
Because I don't think I could have your ESB.
But if you live in Denver, everything has got to be
That's the
dog
thing.
friendly. But I think because it's in a neighborhood, that it's almost a neighborhood. It's the neighborhood bar.
I would weigh 300 pounds if this was my neighborhood bar. I would
Just
not
do a
be able
lot
to
of
leave.
walking like everyone does.
With my
and you'll
dog.
be
Yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
get your dog and all
Fine.
that very thin air.
I
Yeah.
really hope they. I don't know where they're presently distributing Hogshead, but I really do hope that they're at least getting outside of the Denver market, because there are a lot of people who would really enjoy this beer in many, many parts of the country. So I look forward to.
Nashville.
I look forward to a lot of people enjoying such well-made, beers for sure. So
Yeah, I don't think they get out of Colorado.
Oh, that's a bummer.
yeah. That kind of blows. Yeah.
We're gonna rate this a 5 for the Chinwag, and I think we might have time for a
Bonus round.
Bonus beer.
Moist.
We on the night to say neat.
So this one is a slight departure from what we've been drinking, but still from the.
Champagne and Ripple. We're mixing together. That's my favorite.
Champagne?
I call it Champagne.
Yeah,
Sam Pipple.
bring it.
This one is called Denver Pride Pale Ale Best Bitter, and this is also from Hogshead. Their old world yeast and malts with the rotating hop sequence of West Coast IPAs.
That's weird.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
like
that is
it.
super weird.
I like it.
It's a bit sticky.
Yeah, sticky but the icky.
How's it taste, motherfucker?
You know, that we could change the name of the show to that.
I think it just reminds me of, any average West Coast pale ale.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
Got
was
that
thinking.
Big caramel sweetness up front, the nice Northwest hop bitterness.
Sure does. Lagunitas is really coming through and through. I think, this tastes like something straight out of Chico.
I was thinking like Sierra Nevada. Like this just reminds me of like the classic OG kind of
pale ale.
Almost like the Sierra Pale.
Yeah.
That's what those
That's
were
a better choice.
were
I
based
agree,
off
Sparky.
of, though. Is like stuff like this.
God bless those
English
guys
style
too.
beers.
Yeah, basically taking English pale ales and hopping them up with Cascade and hops. There you go.
Boom, boom.
Industry created.
Yeah.
It was that easy, Ken.
Amen. Right place, right
And
time.
scene.
And this one's 4.5% ABV.
Oh,
it's
wow.
just so
Sparky,
so
you could
yummy.
drink this all day,
I
man.
know that could be.
You could just
really
sit and
bad.
drink and drink.
mow the lawn, drink some more.
This tastes like something
to
definitely
sleep.
that belongs at a ballpark. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the Rockies, to get their butt kicked while drinking this beer. That would
That's a sports team.
yes,
Yeah.
$30 a pint.
sports ball. Yes, correct. This is Sparky. Yeah. Just chew on your crackers. a little.
Get a touch base.
Wow. But for this being a West Coast style IPA from a person from London who historically does not use a lot of hops, like West Coasty hops, I think they did a really good job at emulating.
Yeah, and I think it's got a solid
What's-
backbone. And
Yeah.
then I love the fact that it's super sessionable and low ABV.
Oh, God,
and, God bless him.
I would say stick to what you do quite well. And this, to me, it tastes like they've stepped out of character. And not to say this is a bad beer at all.
He's very delusional.
Wow, you just completely knocked, 1 and 2 beers almost, out of the park. And then it's like, okay, this slowed down rather quickly.
Well, I think the other two beers, because they were American
good.
interpretations of English styles, but yet they were darn near perfect English styles. This is not, they were in their wheelhouse doing their best.
This is like
just
a
like an
hybrid.
experiment.
Yeah, this is a hybrid.
They have to keep this on the wall because. Do you have anything hoppy?
Yeah.
Right. No, and this
I
is
don't
a
want these dark
core.
beer.
This is a core beer for them. But
Yeah.
Really?
I like it.
This is
this is a core. Yep.
Yeah.
interesting
Yep.
choice.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to rate the Denver Pride a 4 from Hogshead.
Be good for during Pride Month.
That might be.
So
be a
I
good thing.
definitely want to invite Hogshead to come back, and we'll do a full brewery takeover at
Yeah,
some
that'd be-
point in
that'd be
time
delightful.
in the future. Yes, especially if you expand your distribution for sure.
Or if Mike was to fly us all.
That's
to
what I was
Denver
thinking.
to
Yeah,
do
we just
an
need to-
on-site-
We need to
Fire up
get
Suds
on
and
the
Smokes
scene
Jet again.
Yeah.
The fly to
Sure.
Denver, do a show at the brewery.
Yeah. It's probably really the only right way to do it.
I would shave for that.
Yeah. Sparky,
Yeah.
do you
And he doesn't mean his face.
Wow.
She didn't know where to go with that.
Yeah.
I think that just got us kicked off the air.
Yeah, for sure.
In a couple of states.
It probably
Sure.
did. Yeah.
Talent people.
Banned once again.
Well, okay. Overall, I think this was a pretty good flight.
Great
Yes,
flight.
great flight. Thank you, guys.
And yeah, we can do English style beers here in the States, can't we?
This was not crappy.
Yes.
No, this wasn't.
It did not suck.
the
all
suck
right.
factor was low.
Good times.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Go to Boy Kendall. Thank you so much for being
It
here.
was my pleasure. I love English ales.
Please tell us about your blog.
My beautiful wife and I blog about the good news of good beer at beermix3.com.
Go to Boy Sparky. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I just killed a man and should probably lay low for a while.
Eat your cracker.
Go to Boy Mike.
Hey, thanks for joining us here on Sip, Suds, and Smokes. I'll ask you to come back, join us once again, and to keep on sipping.
Good boy, Dave.
Moist.
That's your word of the month, isn't
It's
it?
the word of my life.
So offensive.
I've got matzah for that if you need it.
Dry that up.
Yeah, that's for sure. Fast.
This is good old Gal Juliana. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep on chuggling and catch you next time.
Yeah, watch that phone, people.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
Tap it in.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands
Millions and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a one-tan hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.